So usually I would not find this necessary. Usually I have plenty of other things to be doing. But because I'm working on so many sweaters, and because then I have YouTube videos to upload, I am sitting a lot. And I get really fidgety if I'm not moving. But there's only so many hours that I can knit before my hands start to cramp up. So during the hours that I can knit, I stabbed myself with some wood today, sorry. I keep trying to check on it. During the hours that I am knitting, it's really helpful to me to be able to still be moving lymph and to keep my circulation up. Because the problem is, if I'm sitting in a normal chair, I'm sitting like this, slumped over because my muscles have gotten tired. And the same thing goes for when I'm at the computer. I'll like sit up in a normal chair with my feet up. So we'll see if I can do it without falling. I'll sit up in a normal chair with my feet up like this, and you can see how hunched I am. Now this bulb cost $10. It's what I asked for Christmas from Mr. Dirt. So this was my Christmas present, and he was kind enough to give it to me early because I was doing a lot of editing. And so anytime, and you can see when I'm on this how good my posture is. Because I'm moving, my body automatically moves into a position that it can hold without compromising posture. And if your posture's bad, you're not breathing right, and if you're not breathing right, you're not going to have energy. So I just like to bounce. And if I'm, what we're doing right now is the girls are doing their school, and I have to be up there for the whole time that they're doing their school to make sure that they're actually doing it. So Kaya has finished her school, so she's allowed to listen to her audiobook while... Okay, so Kaya is done with her school, and she's allowed to listen to her audiobook while Paige is finishing her school. And the reason we put the audiobook on is so that the other child doesn't get distracted. So Kaya's finished. Paige is still working on hers, and as soon as Paige is done with hers, we'll unplug the earphones so they both can hear it, and at that point they can play. They've already done their chores for the day. I've already done my chores for the day, so from now on, the only thing we really need to do is put wood in the stove and do meals. So I brought my bouncy ball upstairs because this computer is as old as Kaya, and it's kind of been through the ringer a bit. And I don't like to edit on it, so once the girls are finished with their school, I'll take the bouncy ball downstairs and I'll edit videos in front of the computer downstairs. And the reason I'm showing you this video up here instead of downstairs is because the lighting downstairs is horrible. It's very orange. You guys have seen it in some of the videos I've done with Mr. Dirt. So anyway, for those of you who have stationary jobs, they make chairs where you sit on this and it actually has a chair stand. That's crap. Why would you do that? The whole point of what you're doing is to use your own muscles to stabilize yourself. If you have a chair, the chair is stabilizing you. This way, when one muscle gets tired, I can change position and do it in a different way. If I start to kind of cramp up because my legs were too close together, I'll put my legs out like this and bounce like that and move from side to side to stretch out my bum. Because no, you're not going to interfere. You're going to work on your school. That's why the earphones are on, is so that you don't get distracted. So after bouncing like this for a while, your inner thighs start to get a little crampy. So at that point, I'll just move to one side, and then I'll move to the other side, and it stretches out my bum a little bit. And then when I'm downstairs while I'm editing, I'll turn the music up really loud, and I really get into it. But it makes the time go faster, and it means that I'm doing 3 things at the same time. I'll be down there knitting while I'm editing, while I'm waiting for things to upload, while I'm working on good posture and lymph drainage. So this works the same way as the trampoline does. And the reason I do these is because my body was not created to jog. My body was not created to do kickboxing. My body was not created to do anything that required twisting or jarring impacts on my joints. I tried jogging, and while the results, I guess, were nice, as far as back when I was really exercising a lot, I did a little bit of jogging, but I couldn't keep it up for very long. It was really, really hard on my knees. And I can't, this is the other thing, I can't do sit-ups and I can't do crunches. I tried for years to be able to do those kind of things, but I have an extra vertebrae in my back. I have a very long torso and I have an extra vertebrae. And it makes it very difficult for me to do crunches, and it actually damages and hurts my back. I used to do Pilates and that kind of thing. Took private lessons and everything, and I never, and this is one of the other reasons I stopped doing it, was because I never saw results. Like the difference between me doing crunches and sit-ups and stuff and me not doing crunches and sit-ups, there was no difference as far as what I was trying to get out of my exercise. For me, what really works well is just to have something that causes me to move. And whatever causes me to move, whatever causes me to move is good enough. And with all the twisting and the movement that I get with my everyday life, with laundry and with farming and that kind of thing, is enough. This helps me with eliminating toxins from my intestines, from my colon. It moves things down, so I get my somewhat aerobic activity from this. I get any really sweaty workout that I get on my rebounder, and that's just because it's almost like dancing when you're on the rebounder, and it doesn't hurt, so I love it. I like to do it early in the morning when I've just had some Pima and some water, and then because we have the wood burning stove, our house gets really warm, and so I just wear a sports bra and some really short shorts so that I'm not getting too hot. That seems to be kind of the only drawback, is that you do get really warm on it. And then for the first 20 minutes, I do my oil pulling with my coconut oil in my mouth. And that way, again, I'm all about dual purpose, so that's how I time myself. As long as I'm on it for 20 minutes and I have my oil pulling done, I can just get off. If at that point I want to get off, I just get off. I'm done. I've had my 20 minutes. And I'll just turn on really loud music or some music videos or something to watch, and I don't let the kids distract me. They will come and try to beg me, and it's really not fair, because it's not something where I let them distract me. Because all I'm asking for is 20 minutes out of the day. I will feed them the rest of the day, I'll take care of them the rest of the day, but this is my time to listen to my own music and not be distracted. And I can get really snippy with them in the morning if they try to. It makes me a little angry. So during the rest and I do not let my kids play on my bouncing ball. I don't have the money to replace it, so it is not theirs, it is mine. It was my Christmas present, it is not a toy. And but you can see it doesn't take a lot of effort to do this, and yet I can feel the lymph. And you guys already know this because you've seen other videos. I don't wear bras if I can help it. I have sluggish lymph. And so something like this that's a little bit bouncy also helps to move my lymph and helps us to stay healthy. The girls had whooping cough and they were over it in a week and a half with bouncing on the trampoline, because it helped move that lymph and help move that mucus out of them. I feel really strongly about it. We've had it for 2 years now, the rebounder. And our winters have been so much better, because when it's really cold outside, we can still get some motion. So I can get off my soapbox, or I guess I could get off my exercise ball conversation now. But you can see, and if I had a lot of loud music in it, I mean, when I'm downstairs, this is more what it looks like. I'm really getting into it, and I know that looks really funny, but I can still read, you know, and I can move from side to side, and I can get my motion in. And it means that instead of being stationary and my body having to try and find a new hunched position to get into to be comfortable, instead all I have to do is move over a little bit and change my position that way. And not only is my mind not bored, but my muscles aren't bored. If you guys have ever had to sit at a desk for a really long time, you'll notice your muscles get bored and you have a hard time, and you have to go get caffeine and you have to go get chocolate in order to keep your mind energized, but this energizes you, and I don't ever break a sweat on my exercise ball. That would be the rebounder's job. So it's not like it would be inappropriate for work, you know, in an office, as long as, you know, stopped bouncing before somebody came in. Anyway, so that's what I do. And if you think, oh, she doesn't sit down enough to really need this, generally I'm spending 12 hours a day knitting. I'm knitting for 12 hours a day, and I have also at least 4 hours a day of video editing that I need to do. And because I can do both of them at the same time, I'm spending most of my day right now sitting. If it was summertime, that wouldn't be the case. But in the wintertime, that is the case. And I can spin on this. I can use my spinning wheel. I can sit at my desk doing this, and you can see that I can knit. And I believe that it also exercises my brain because I'm multitasking. I'm knitting, which is a small motor skill, and then I'm also bouncing at the same time, and it helps my brain not feel sluggish too. And this is really how we do it. So I've got to do a video sometime about my Wolverine claws that I use for carding and my Rambo belt made out of, what is this? Yarn. Sometime I'm going to do that, and it's going to be really funny. So there we go. And I eventually want to show you my workstation the way that I've set it up now, but that's for another day. So anyway, find something you love, and just, especially in the wintertime, find a reason to move that doesn't hurt.